it happened to us, obviously, and there was never a second thought of like, we have to do everything possible to help our little guy.
Kristen and Dave Sharpe were happy. They had 2 healthy little girls. It was a blessed life in northern Indiana for a football coach and an accountant.
We knew we wanted a 3rd kid, and so when we found out that Kristen was pregnant, it was just, we were so ecstatic, through the roof, and then at the 20-week ultrasound is when we got the bad news.
The first thought was the back half of the baby's brain was not growing. After a 6-week search of what was wrong, Kristen and Dave found themselves at Riley Children's Hospital in Indianapolis.
We didn't know if he would be born and be in a ton of pain and then die. We didn't know if he would be born and actually have a pretty good prognosis and be okay and live a long, relatively healthy life.
It was just a lot of mystery. We didn't know exactly how serious it was going to be, but we knew it was serious.
The diagnosis: fetal dural sinus thrombosis. DST is when there's a blood clot in the dural sinus vein. It happened early in the pregnancy and prevented healthy brain tissue from developing.
It was a mystery basically all the way up until the day he was born.
There were many complications and challenges, but little Jacob Sharpe was born on August 25th, 2017. That's when doctors discovered severe swelling. A shunt was put in to relieve swelling from his brain.
We had 2 surgeries early on, one with the shunt placement for the hydrocephalus and then the second for the G-tube.
There's not many kids that are born with this, just a handful, in modern medical history.
When he was 2 months old, Jacob had his 2nd surgery and things were looking up. He was able to go home with his G-tube and he began to put on weight and develop more normally.
The most communication we got to do with him was we taught him how to blow raspberries. And it was such an amazing thing because it was him communicating with us. So we would do it to him and he would do it back to us.
The Sharpes appreciated every day with a new member of their family.
Doctors didn't really expect too much, but he was just amazing.
You would have never known anything's wrong with him when he was healthy, when he was with us for 3 or 4 weeks at a time. It's like he had a great month. He would coo and smile and he'd blow little raspberries, and you could definitely tell that he knew he was being loved and cared for. 3
or 4 different therapists for him. And so we did vision therapy and occupational therapy and physical therapy.
Like as soon as he would give us glimmers of hope, something would happen and we have to rush him to Riley for another surgery. But then he would recover and bounce back, and he was just the toughest little guy.
Tougher than any of us, absolutely. He was, the way he would rally after surgery.
He would wake up from surgery and within a few hours we'd get him rolling around and kind of smiling, and he would coo. He would just woo woo woo. He'd get this little coo in his voice.
He had 13 surgeries in 9 months.
In a matter of 19 days, he had 2 shunt revisions and an additional medical device put in place to relieve pressure on the brain.
I just can't imagine any other infant going through all that he went through with his multiple surgeries, and I was just so proud of him.
His pain worsened, his development regressed, and in one instant, Jacob was fighting for his life.
It was New Year's Eve, he had his first seizure, and from that point on, things started to decline.
Doctors tried one more emergency procedure in May. The family knew it was risky. And on June 4th, 2018, Jacob William Sharpe died after a courageous fight.
The whole funeral was, looking back at it, it was hard. It was very difficult, but seeing our friends and family there helped us get through it. Yeah.
Although Jacob was only with us for a short time, he's already made a huge difference in many lives.
His legacy and his impact is going to be bigger than most people who have lived 90 years, and he only lived nine months.
Although this story doesn't have a happy ending, the Sharpe family felt very fortunate to have support all around them.
For us, having our community and our friends and family there for us at that time was really the only thing that got us through it.
During Jacob's journey, Dave and Kristen found a glaring need. The Jacob Sharpe Foundation was formed to raise funds for grieving families to honor their child's life through memorial and funeral services.
You know, there are so many great charities out there and foundations that are, you know, kind of a race for a cure. And with babies like Jacob, you know, where there's not an identifiable cause. And we knew we wanted to do something to help families.
Like, I can't imagine if we didn't start this foundation. I don't know where we would be.
It seemed like to us that there wasn't much to help families after their child had died. You know, that's the time when you really are the most alone.
We figured to honor his legacy, we would raise money to provide financial assistance for funeral expenses for children in Indiana that pass unexpectedly.
When you go to the website jacobsharpefoundation.org, you'll see the family has partnered with Riley Children's Hospital. The mission is to raise donations so no Riley family will have to go through without remembering their child in an honorable, loving, and enduring way.
Unfortunately, there's a lot of families that have gone through what we've gone through or have had a similar story, and there's no game plan for it, there's no playbook for it. You just have to get through it.
And then in talking to Riley, you know, it was something the social workers there identified as a really big need. It was really, really important to us to be able to help and give back. And then with the foundation, you know, if we're able to alleviate any sort of pain or burden, you know, just ease that time for other people, that's because of Jacob.